Hello and welcome to episode 60, I believe, of Tifosi Time, your favorite Serie A podcast. If you're watching, we have two hosts that don't even show up anymore. So, my name's Chris. Frank, I don't even know what state he's in right now. He might be joining us in the chat. And Pietro's having tech issues again, not surprising. But I am joined by Dan. So Dan, say hi.
Hello. The dedication to this podcast is it's atrocious, I have to say.
It's a little ridiculous. There's four of us, only two showed up. I'm surprised the producer's here, honestly. I'm surprised he showed up.
We're the only two that know what they're talking about anyway, so it doesn't matter.
That is true. All right, so first off, before we start, if you do like what you see, make sure you hit subscribe, like, comment in the chat. If you're here live, we'll definitely respond and we'll talk to you. Where do you want to start, Dan? Milan Inter?
Yeah, you got to start with the Derby, right?
Yeah, I assume so.
This is the big game, the headlining game. For those who didn't see it, 1-1 draw. This game was weird. That first half especially, it was just kind of like people there wasn't a lot of tactics in the first half. I felt like it was just people kind of running forward and just trying to go forward and just play the ball as quick as possible up top and see what you can do.
Yeah. And then in the second half there were tons of chances for both teams.
And it was
either of these teams could have won.
It was a totally different second half. Like the tactics came into play more. Like especially, towards the end, I think Pioli's changes were better than Inzaghi's changes. Like they had more of an impact.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, either team could have won. I think for the majority of the game, Inter I thought played better. They had more chances.
Yeah.
But that last 10-15 minutes of the game, it was. Milan really looked like they were going to score.
Yeah, I agree. Now, on this, Çalhanoğlu had a penalty shot in the 11th minute. I don't think that was a foul.
Yeah, so if you guys didn't see the play, Kessié was kind of playing around with the ball in his own area. Was going backwards, got pressured from both sides, got his legs tangled up with Çalhanoğlu, right? It was?
Yeah.
To me, it was just legs tangling up, and I wouldn't have called that if I was the referee. I know why he called it, but to me, that wasn't a penalty.
I guess it's whatever, because if this was Juventus and that was against us, we'd be pissed. But if it was for us, we would have been like, oh, cool, like penalty,
Yeah, no, I understand why it was called, but I don't agree that it should have been called.
Yeah, no. And then Çalhanoğlu scores the penalty.
Yes, so Lautaro kind of gave up, because he's usually their normal penalty kick taker. And Çalhanoğlu, I guess, really wanted it, and he gave it to him, and he scored. It was a decent shot. Taratushanu, whatever his name is, he just dove the wrong way, but it wasn't like a shot in the corner or anything like that.
No.
So there was that. Then, where is everyone? Poot says there's no dedication. Poot, all right. Nobody cares about the podcast besides Chris and I. So yeah, that was the first penalty kick. Then Milan come back on an own goal. Was it Tonali cross on a free kick, right?
Yeah.
They thought
corner kick.
It was a corner kick. Sorry, Tonali corner kick, and it looked like it came off Tomori, but it didn't, and it went off Debray and it went into their own net. So you had a penalty shot and then an own goal happened to tie it up. Then what was it? It was Ballatore who played awful left back.
And a terrible foul. That was like, what are you doing?
It was funny. When I saw it live, I was like, no, he got the ball. Like I was just trying to convince myself that he got the ball. He didn't get anywhere near the ball. It was terrible defending. It wasn't
even close.
No, he got like turned inside out. Like it was just terrible positioning and all that. And it was a straight up penalty shot and a yellow card, and Lautaro took that one,
which was a good shot and a ridiculous save.
Yeah, it was a great shot. I can't fault Lautaro for that. I usually rag on him a lot because I just don't like him. I think he's overrated. That was a beautiful shot, and that was an even better save. So
that save was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know. As like a fan of the rest of the league, is this tie good for everyone?
Well, here's what you have to think though. Like, they both get 1 point, second and third place. Juventus got 3 points this week. They jumped 2 points up. They gained 2 points on both those teams. So
yeah, and
yes,
and we'll talk about Napoli too, right? They gained points on them too.
yeah. So you have to see that, like, 1 point for each of those teams. That works out for everyone else that was chasing them.
Yeah, because I know when we were watching the game, Frankie texted us and was like, "Oh, kind of would have been better if like Milan just would have won, so teams could catch up to Inter." But I feel like a tie is good for the league.
So just thinking about Frankie's perspective and his thought process. First of all, Frankie hates Inter.
Yes.
So he wants them to lose at all costs. And his thought was, hey, get Inter to drop out of the top 4, Juventus sneak into the 4th spot. That's his whole thought process behind it. But in reality, the 1-1 tie, both teams drop points.
Yes.
And I see that as a positive for everyone who's chasing them.
Yeah. I agree. It was a good game. It was entertaining, especially the second half.
I thought the whole game was entertaining. I mean, the second half, like I said, that the last 15 minutes, Milan really was coming on. Ibra had a free kick that got through the wall again, and it was a nice save by Handanovic. Really, the big play was the Salamaker's post from the outside. He shot it, hit the post, and then that rebound, Kessié, mishits the rebound, but he had a pretty open shot on that one too.
He beans it for sure. That was definitely an opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, so he gave up the penalty shot. He messed up that shot. He didn't have his strongest game. On Inter side, Martinez blew. I mean, the penalty shot. He blew a couple other chances. He could have scored 2 himself.
Mm-hmm. Now, I recall. Did Barella get hurt?
I don't know. I don't remember. I know there's a bunch of people in the Italy squad now that are in question for the qualifiers coming up this week.
Another thing I wanted to bring. How about Bastoni's run?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, the run and then the fake towards the sideline, and you got the cross off. It was Bastoni can do those things. He's got the offensive talent.
Yeah.
And then they took him out and they put DeMarco in, right?
Yeah,
who's another.
He's a favorite of this show.
He is a favorite of this show. And you know what? Like, I don't like him in that position personally. Like, I want him in there for Perisic.
No, I'd rather see him on the wing for sure. Because he gets those crosses in, and he's like,
and the more he gets offensive chances, the better.
Yeah.
But in the end, a 1-1 draw. I mean, like, while I was watching this game, I could have saw all 3 results happening, and to have a draw come out, I'm okay with it. And draws haven't happened a lot lately in this matchup. I think that there's a first one in like the last 6 or something like that.
Yeah.
And look, Pietro showed up. He's in the chat. So if whatever you want to chime in about this game, go ahead. We've broken it down a little bit.
So if he's typing in chat, just really quickly for some news and notes, Barella did sign a new contract with Inter, right? $5 million a year net.
Yes, I think they were working on Lautaro's contract too.
Yeah, till 2026. I don't know. I think Brozovic is still bitching. He wants his money. I don't know.
Brozovic has played pretty good this season. He can't really complain, but he's not. I don't think he's worth the money that he's asking for.
That's what I mean.
That's the issue.
But then it's like, are you just going to lose him for free, right? Like, there's tons of teams that want him. So.
No, yeah. I mean, I think they would have to get something for him.
Yeah.
So. If you're looking at our slide over here, Milan 32 points in the first 12 games. That's basically their best start ever. I mean, in the 3-point era. So what are they? 10 wins, 2 draws in 12 games. That's pretty insane.
Now let's remember too. At Christmas last year, they were in first.
They were in first. I have a funny thing I want to show you when we get to the halfway mark. When we do our challenge, I want to show you some things, and you're gonna laugh at it. Like, really, that happens? And
really,
yeah.
From last year, you mean?
From last year's top 4, yeah.
Nice. So, all right. Anything else on this game while we wait for Pietro to write some stuff in the chat?
No, I mean, not for me. I guess Frank's not even showing up in the chat. Look at the dedication; it's atrocious. I'm disgusted. All right.
Which team do you want to move on to next? You want to go Juventus or Napoli?
You know what I really want to go to? I want to go to the Rome game.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go to the Rome.
Because that game to me was so fun to watch.
That was an excellent game to watch.
So, for those who don't know, Venezia beat Rome 3-2. Rome had the lead in this game. Venezia came back. Rome hasn't won a game in all competitions in the last 7 matches.
Yeah.
So they're obviously not playing well. I went on the Reddit, the Rome Reddit.
Did you?
Yeah. I like to look every once in a while, and some fans panicking like crazy, like this shit has to stop. This, enough is enough. When is the rebuild actually going to happen? We're always promised the same stuff. I just happened to write in there. Are we just forgetting the fact that Venezia played extremely well? Like we're just discrediting them?
And I'm sure they didn't want to give them any credit.
They didn't want to hear. People were giving me crap. I was like, all right, do you watch the game? Like, and I was like, upsets happen every week. And some of the arguments were they don't happen to Milan and Napoli. Okay, 2 teams on historic runs. That's going to be your argument that those teams are legit on historic runs.
Yeah. Plus Venezia is home and they're like playing decent. It's not like they're.
I mean, well, they got 12 points. They're not playing decent. They're 3 points out of relegation. They're not exactly world beaters.
Did you expect more than that?
No, but I will tell you, they're no walkover. I mean, if you look at this team, I watched this game very closely. I watched a few of their games. Aramu, number 10 on their team.
He's good.
He's a quality player. He's got skill on the ball. Okereke, that guy is a poor man's Boga. He's turning into Boga. He's got that switch that he can just turn on and make a crazy play, and just make something happen out of nothing. Caldara is scoring goals, winning corner kicks, headers constantly.
I was going to say shout out to Frank's boy Caldara with the goal, 3rd minute. Also Romero, that's not he's playing good. That was a good pickup in goal.
Yeah, Romero, the signing, free signing. There's some stuff in the chat that let's just see. Parola's a slow typer. There was the conversation if you would keep Ibrahimovic for the entire game. Some say it was good to keep him for his stature. What about Jude? I agree with that on the going back to the Milan game. I thought Ibra was kind of, he wasn't in it a lot. He was just kind of moseying around, not running a lot. He did have the free kick, but I thought one of his subs could have been Ibra and put Giroud in.
I kind of agree with that too, but I also understand he's tall. If we get a free kick, maybe we get lucky, right?
I mean, he has his strengths. I just think he was not really a factor in the game.
Yeah.
And then Pro says Mourinho has an excuse always, go back with the Juventus game. I mean, Mourinho, he was not happy on the sidelines losing that game.
He's never happy.
Yeah. And then Buzio is what I was going to say. So they have these skilled players. They got a good goalie. Caldara's hammering in all the corner kicks, and Rome can't cover a corner kick. And then Buzio is so calm, controlling the entire game.
You know what I like about Buzio? At one point, you see him essentially playing sweeper.
He was playing left back, sweeper. He was all over the place.
And then at the end of the game, you see him attacking center mid.
Yeah.
He's all over the place, and they want to get him the ball, which is good. And I like him. His game is good.
Yeah. No, for sure. He's improving by the game. You see him just getting more and more comfortable. And on both sides of the ball, his passes, he's doing passes from left back over the top to the left wing. That kid, Cain, was so good on the wing, so fast and so dangerous. Like I said, they have quality players that can hurt you if you're not taking this team seriously.
No, and even Ampadu on loan, they got him. He's a good
player. And Padu, he's from Chelsea, or is he from?
Yeah, Chelsea. His problem is he's too physical for this league. He gets a card every game.
Busio really is a classic midfield. I mean, for me, I don't see Venezia keeping Busio after this year. I think a team's going to come in and buy him, and they're going to they bought him for $6 million. They're going to buy him, for double, triple that. I think.
I hope not. I hope he stays. Honestly, well, unless if they stay up, I want him to stay. If they're going to go down, it's better if he leaves. Obviously.
Dom wrote in the chat, "Do you take Busio over McKennie?" I don't know. That's a tough one. They different styles, different players. Right now, I mean, if you're Juventus, I could use a Buzio in that midfield to go along with Locatelli. And, so that's probably more important to me. But McKennie has his strengths. I mean, his long throws, how good are those?
Oh, my God.
His foul throws every time.
Does no one notice that in the world but us? He's throwing it like a football.
Yeah. Parolo, Pietro wants both. He wants Busio and McKennie. All right. So that's the next Juventus buy.
Hey,
But
Pietro, how would you feel about Locatelli, Busio, and Ravella midfield next year?
no, you can't have that midfield. They're all too similar.
No, I know.
Busio and Ravella are very similar.
Yeah.
So you can't really have both of them unless you're changing your formation.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. He wants 2 Americans on Juventus. Never thought the day would come. Yeah, right?
Yeah. And I heard he also wants Alexei Lalas to take Nedved's job, but that's just,
Oh, God. So anyway, this was – yes, Rome did have 27 shots, 10 on target. Yeah, they had their chances. But Venezia is up 3-2, and Busio's putting crosses in, headers. Yeah. Patricio's making crazy saves towards the end of the game. Like, they weren't even holding back.
Yeah, 2 crazy saves. It was a good game. It was very entertaining.
I enjoyed that game a lot. And was that the 6:30 in the morning game?
I think that was early, yeah.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I woke up for it, and I wasn't disappointed. It was a very interesting game. And like I said, Rome is in a tailspin. They're not doing well. And you're hearing it from now the fans, online. Everyone is they're not feeling it for, when they started the season, 6-7 games undefeated, and everyone's like, this is the greatest thing ever. Mourinho's the best. Abraham's fantastic, which Abraham's not bad. He hit the post again. I mean, if that kid, I think he hit the post 4 times already this season. He would be like one of the top leading goal scorers if he can just put the ball in the net, off those posts. Pellegrini got hurt again. I don't think he's going to be joining the qualifiers. And Mourinho went with the new lineup this time. He put 3 in the back only. He put Mancini, Ibanez, and Kumbula in the middle. And clearly it didn't help because they gave up 3 goals.
At least he's trying stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he changed the formation up a little bit. It's just it didn't work.
I hope they turn it around because it's a better league when Rome is good, for sure.
Yeah, I want them to do better. Ravella to bring back in January.
So Pietro was mentioned that last time we saw him. He said there's rumors that they want to try to bring him back in January. Listen, I'm for that as long as he's going to play. Yeah. I'm assuming they're going to cut ties with Ramsey. We'll get into that, but if he's going to play, bring him back for sure.
Quarter inch the other way, he would have missed completely. Yeah, I know that he hit the post, whatever. Either way, but I'm saying he's had no luck in those situations. He's hit the post a lot.
Yeah, not like our boy Simeone.
Simeone's on fire. So Venezia beat Rome for the first time in Serie A since 1999. It's pretty crazy. And that stadium, it's a small, cute little stadium. Fans are packed. It was a good atmosphere. It was a really nice win for them.
Yeah, I'm happy for them.
Mm-hmm. You got anything else to say about that?
No, I think that's enough on them, right?
All right, now you picked. What do we have? We have Napoli, Verona, or do you want to talk about Juventus, Fiorentina?
It doesn't matter to me.
All right, let's go to the Napoli game. So again, Napoli remain undefeated. They did tie this game against Hellas Verona 1-1. Verona come out swinging again. First on a Simeone goal, which was a scorer's finish,
That was a striker's goal, man.
Yeah.
To get there, getting your foot there, and that was very nice. Not a lot of people can do that.
What was the cross from Barak, right? Barak crossed up Rui on
he made him look like a middle school child. That was
It was really poor defending on Rui's part, and then he crossed it, and Simeone, inside the 6-yard box, stuck his foot in, put the ball home, and that's what you need from your strikers. So what is that? That's 9 goals for him in his last 7 games.
It's insane. That's insane.
Who would have thought? The guy, I think he had 6 goals last season. Like, he couldn't buy a goal last year. He's just never hitting the net. Now all he does is hit the net.
It's great. I'm happy for him.
Yeah. Nevertheless, Napoli come back, and really their only shot on target they score. And to be honest, Montipo, he gets megged on a Di Lorenzo shot, which it was
And
it was a hard low shot, but I mean, it went right through his legs.
It was difficult, but that being said, if that was Chesney, we would be tearing him apart. Right
yeah, for sure. If that was Chesney and went right through his legs, I'd be like, put in Perrine like ASAP. So I was a little disappointed in that. But as Verona had a chance to score a second goal with Barak. Yeah, Barak had a couple of chances.
Barak is awesome. Like, he's turning into a really nice player.
Well, listen, if you remember, Chris, I said this 4 or 5 years ago. When he was on Udinese, I was a huge fan of him and Balak, whatever his name was, which I don't even know what league he's in. It was Balak and Barak, and I like both those players. And Barak stuck around. Balak, I don't know where he is, but he's a quality player. The chances he had where I think were on his weaker foot, were on his right foot, so he just couldn't get clean shots. He got the shots off, they just weren't clean, and they were kind of rollers to Ospina. But yeah, they had chances. I think Osimhen hit the post too, so it doesn't count as a shot on target, but it was a very good attempt.
But who would know? Like, who knows? Like, 2 red cards at the end there, If
I know, right?
11, maybe they win.
So that was the funny part. Both Bessa and Kalinic both get 2 yellow cards each. They were both substituted in, and they both get thrown out like immediately, which is ridiculous. If I'm Tudor, I'm getting pissed off that 2 of my subs are getting 2 yellow cards each.
Yeah, there was a quote from Tudor actually, and he said the way his team is playing, like, I forget the context of it, but he was saying he would not play like this if he had a Ronaldo on his team, right? Like, the way he plays.
Well, so he was saying that, like, the way his intensity, the way what he demands, you can't do that with superstars like Ronaldo because they're not going to respond that way. When you have workers like Barak, Caprari, Simeone, these guys that have been, they're not superstars. They want to become superstars. Like, you can motivate these guys with that kind of attitude. If you do that with Ronaldo, he's gonna say "fuck off," Like, he's not gonna be with that. So
was this the game? This was the game where Caselle, I guess, I don't know how to pronounce his name, got Di Lorenzo just.
Yeah, I mean, so that was more poor defending. I think we say that every week in this league. The defending has become atrocious. Yeah. He got his foot. I mean, Di Lorenzo went faked him out, went the other way, and he got his foot caught, and it looked like he broke his leg. Honestly, that's how badly he fell over.
The slow motion replay was like, oh boy,
it was pretty funny, and it did. It led to a chance too for Napoli.
Yeah.
The defending is so bad in this league. They're lucky they have good goalkeepers because these goals would be 7, 8 goals a game because these goalies really save a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Osimhen, I said Osimhen hit the post on a turnaround shot, which was a nice shot.
He's dead. Like, he's a threat all the time. He just gotta.
For sure. Even the announcer was saying he's just so fast. He's so big. He's so strong. Like, he's running so fast that, like, the rest of the team can't keep up with him. Like, he's just on another level with his speed. And
no, it's true. I mean, it's like Insigne is not going to be able to run with him. As it's like
So there's that. Ronaldo's saying this with Manchester. Yeah, I'm sure Ronaldo's giving issues over there in Manchester United. Juventus isn't good. I don't miss Ronaldo. I don't miss the drama. I don't miss any of that stuff.
They're very fortunate that someone took him, honestly. Very fortunate.
So, but this game, again, Napoli, 10 wins, 2 draws. If I'm any other team in the league, they only got 1 point. I'm happy with that. Yeah. This wasn't even against a top 7 team, and they only got 1 point. I know Verona's playing very, very well in our solid team. But Napoli home against Verona, they're expecting 3 points. But you have to remember, Napoli didn't have Koulibaly. He was suspended. Mm-hmm. So Juan Jesus is playing in the back. Rui next to Jesus isn't really a thrilling combo over there.
It was like his first start in 2 years or something?
Yeah, I mean, he was on Rome, and
so they exiled him.
Yeah, Fonseca hated him, so he never played. But
that's a good result for Verona, man. On the road, tie, that's good.
Mm-hmm. You got to see if they can keep it up for a consistent time. A month playing well, you got to see if you can turn that into a few months.
Yeah.
Parola.
All right. In the chat, he's saying, "Oh, I told you about Verona." you're right. Verona has a good squad. We liked their squad last year, but they also had Juric. I told you at the season started, I said Di Francesco's a putz, and he got fired in 3 games. Now they have Tudor.
Yeah,
he kind of knows what he's doing, and they're playing much better.
100%.
I agree with you.
100% right. I was the biggest Verona fan last year. I was like their champion, saying they're one of my favorite teams to watch. You know, I really like their players. I like their coaching style, all that stuff. Then they lost 3 of their best players. Yeah. Then they hire a putz, like you said. Like, how can I think that they're going to do well? So, yeah, credit to Tudor. They still have quality players. They took a chance on Caprari. You know, they have Barak. They took a chance on Simeone. Temeze was a good find. They even got rid of Silvestri and put Montipo in there, who's, you know, not as good as Silvestri, but he's doing okay.
No, but it was a money move, and they really didn't get hurting from it.
So I mean, from top to bottom, this team, like, if you're a Verona fan, you have to be very happy with what you're getting out of them.
I would be ecstatic.
I would be thrilled with that. You know, top 10 this far into the season and looking better and better.
On such a slow start, yeah, I mean, that's great.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, 1-1 draw. Let's see if Simeone can score some more goals in 2 weeks. Let's see if we can catch up to Immobile. You want to go to the Juventus game?
Yeah, Parola, get typing now so you can
start typing. Give us your thoughts, because we're going to start talking, and then I want to hear from you. All right. This was a Saturday game, right? 1-0 Juventus win over Fiorentina. These 2 teams very close in the standings, so this was a huge game for both of them.
Really quickly before you start, well, they won 1-0, obviously, Juventus, but read that little thing on the bottom there.
Second time in the season, Juventus didn't have a shot on target in the first half.
It's disgusting.
Right? I mean, how do you not get a shot on target?
I don't know. Rabiot had one of the worst games I've ever seen.
So, okay, I'm glad you started with that, because the side of Sandro and Rabiot together does not work. They're not good defensively. They're not good offensively.
I told you, Sandro runs like he's got shit in his pants. His shorts are too long. He just runs so slow. I can't stand it. I'm glad sucks he got hurt, I guess, but I'm glad they took him out.
Get hurt. But I mean, him with the combination of Rabiot over there is atrocious. It's so bad. They made Odriozola look like a stud top fullback in the league.
He's a decent young player.
He's a young prospect who can't defend and had no trouble defending this week because he had no pressure. And then they made him look so good going forward with his crosses and his runs forward. Those guys suck so bad. It's really frustrating to watch.
I will say this. Give credit to Juventus. They pitched the first shutout in a while, right?
A couple of games, yeah.
Yeah. And who's back at center back over there? Rugatti, which you had that wrong. It's not Bonucci. It should have been Delit. But
oh yeah, sorry.
I think Frankie even texted us during this game, and he said that Delit, he played an excellent game. And I think he knew that he had an absolute moron next to him. And he said, hey, I got to shut Vlahovic down because this guy's not going to help me.
Yeah, Delit, I mean, I think he had one of his strongest games. You're 100% right. He knew what was surrounding him. He's like, you know what? I have to go after this ball. I have to go after that ball. I have to do pretty much everything over here because I just don't trust what's next to me.
Even Rugatti's first touch, that was just a giveaway to the team. And Delit just looked at him like, what the hell?
Yeah. It was like such a telling sign. He's like, oh, man, this is how the game's going to go. All right, I need to get my game face on, and I need to get going on this.
So really quickly in chat, Pedro says the question that the fans have is, are Dybala, Chiesa, and Cuadrado, are they able to play together? And I think they can. I would love to see a top 3 or not top 3. I like Cuadrado at right back, but they can all play together. Like, he's got to try it eventually.
Well, so you just said this Sandro and Rabiot on that side is atrocious. Think of Cuadrado and Chiesa on that side, how dangerous that could be. Like, I don't understand why he's not doing that. And that for me, I love that he's playing Danilo. Danilo is very serviceable. Put him on the other side. Get Sandro out of there.
What's the deal? Does he not have a left foot? Like, I don't get it.
So he's played on the left side before. Put Sandro on the left side. I put Danilo on the left side, and get Cuadrado back in defense where he's been comfortable over the past few years. Get him next to Chiesa. You'll have so much danger down that wing.
People would be scared for sure.
And Cuadrado, he subbed in this game and he made an impact. Obviously, he scored the goal. But even before the goal, he was able to use some of his energy because he's been tired lately. He's played so much. His energy levels have been low, and his performance hasn't been that good.
But he's dangerous, right? Like he needs to. He should be playing a lot. Rugani played good, and De Ligt shows some of the critic that he's better than Bonucci and Chiellini. I agree with that.
We agree with the De Ligt part.
I mean, Rugani was okay.
Rugani, yeah. I don't think Rugani was a world beater. Especially with the ball. I thought he was very sketchy with the ball and nervous with the ball, and you could see whenever he had the ball that he was feeling nervous.
Yeah, for sure. He is right. Like on defense, you saw when Vlahovic had the ball and De Ligt wasn't there. He ran, he knew. He was like, "This is my responsibility." Bonucci would have been 10 yards off him and given him a shot.
Just look last week against Simeone where he dropped off 20 yards and let him shoot.
Yeah. I will agree with that.
Speaking of Vlahovic, there's all these rumors and discussions about him. He had a pretty poor game. And that's the concern is, when you're going up against a top defender, are you going to show up? Are you going to come through? And to me, he disappeared.
Yeah, but we could say the same thing about Lukaku when he goes up against Chiellini, right?
Yeah, but this guy was going up against Rugani.
Well,
not exactly.
The lit was there.
Yeah, I know. But he did not have his best game. I'll say that.
Yeah, I think Morata needs to go.
But if you look at Morata, he hustled. He almost, on Terrashanu's first clear, he blocks it. He did have a nice snapshot that was near post that was just wide.
Yeah.
But he gets lost in the game and doesn't do things for huge spells, which is annoying. And the offsides are I can't.
Me and you absolutely, we love Morata. I love him. But for me, let him go. Get Vlahovic, and let's start from there.
Yeah, Pietro's still on this Rugani kick. Yes, I agree. For his first game in a year, he played very well for just stepping in for never getting any playing time. Because you remember, he was supposed to start the last game and he got sick or something, so he didn't. So, yes, Rugani, I'll give you your props. You played okay for someone who hasn't played in over a year or whatever the hell it's been.
No, but
I still don't trust you.
He is right, though, because you can't expect a lot more from him. It is his first game. What do you want from the kid?
No, okay. He did okay. McKennie, any thoughts on McKennie?
The foul throws are disgusting, and they make me sick. He legit throws them. I know it's not a big deal, but it's a clear advantage for Juventus, and it's a foul throw. That should not happen.
I saw Perisic do the same thing this weekend, so I can't really say that.
They need to call that because it's literally turning throw-ins to the corner kicks. Yeah, and that's not right.
But I'm talking about his movement and his, he's continuing to improve and move more and get to the feel of things a lot more in these last few games, right?
He's played a lot better. What I like about him is his willingness to just one-touch pass. Get the ball, he gives it back right away.
One touch and move. Yeah, when he's on, one touch and go forward.
Yes. So I like that because he's more willing to do that than most of the players on this team.
Yeah. Morata, he said the Morata's the problem is he knows he's not the best. He knows this is not his best year. Yeah, and Morata's a big part of his game is his psyche and his confidence. And when he's not going good, he's really not going good.
Yeah, he's streaky for sure. But I do love him. I love him as a player.
Yeah. And McKennie, Pietro agrees. McKennie keeps on playing like this, he'll be playing better. One person we didn't mention, Chiesa's so dangerous, in that second half especially. He was the guy who looked like he was going to put the ball in the back of the net to get the goal. Drilling one off the post, other snapshots that saved by Terrasciano. He was the most dangerous player on the field. And then in the end, Cuadrado gets, to me, a cheap goal and a terrible play by the goalie.
Put it this way.
It was near post on a shot that it was a terrible angle. It was awful.
If Dragowski was in that, that's not a goal.
Yeah, It was slightly deflected. It was still, how did that ball squeeze through there is beyond me. It shouldn't have went through. So yeah, I think Chiesa was the most dynamic player going forward. Locatelli was I thought he was good in controlling in his quick passes and his covering, coming back. My real issues, to be honest, is that left side of the field. And when Pellegrini came in, he didn't really do much. He wasn't exactly, thrilling me. Again, he's another guy who never plays. But that Rabiot, man, I can't watch him anymore. I can't.
Really bad game. But my question is, all right, Rabiot's not there. Who are you putting in?
Bernardeschi. I'll put Bernardeschi there instead of him. Or I flip Chiesa on the other side and I put Cuadrado on that side. So or Kulusevski. I can't see Rabiot anymore. That he's playing out of position, first of all.
He loves him for some reason.
It's not his position. Yeah. So he's just not good.
Yeah. So Pietro just said, and what we were saying at the beginning, what Dan was saying, Sandro and Rabiot on the same side. It's not a good look.
It's so bad. It limits you so much, and offensively and defensively. Like, I could understand if they were not going to give up any goals on that side, but they get beat constantly. Rabiot doesn't track back, and Sandro sucks.
So it's very frustrating, especially for Rabiot, because he's so physically gifted. Like, he's huge, he's fast, he's strong. He should be doing a lot more than he does. So it's definitely frustrating.
So, yeah, there's an issue on that side. I know Chiesa's better side is on the right side, so yes, I want to keep him there. But, I mean, if my option is Rabiot on that left side, maybe I want to put Chiesa back over there on the left and, maybe move Cuadrado up on the right side because I can't take that anymore.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, 3 points for Juventus. Gain 2 points on number 1, number 2, and number 3 seeds in the table. So for that, it's a great week for them.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't talk about the Champions League game, but you could say that Champions League game was probably maybe their best game of the year.
Oh, what, the 4-2 game against the Net?
Yeah, I mean, they played well, right?
Yeah, they were more offensive than we've seen them. And we're going to go over the scores for the Champions League and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Do you want, Dom, you want to throw up? Does anybody else have final comments about this game? I don't know if Pietro's still typing in the chat.
No, I mean, we didn't mention anything major about Fiorentina.
Fiorentina, I mean, what are we going to say about that?
I mean,
they did get a red card. So that was the other thing, right?
That was dumb.
It was a second yellow that he got, right?
Yeah.
So for that, I mean, they're down to 10 men for the last 17 minutes of the game, and then Juventus waits until the 91st minute to score, which was like, man, if they wouldn't have got the goal there, that would have been a really bad tie for them.
Yeah.
Right? When you're up for 20 minutes a man.
Yeah. We can move on from this game.
Yeah. Dom, do you want to throw up the scores for the rest of the games, and we'll talk about them briefly? All right, so round 12, just to go through the rest of them. You had Empoli versus Genoa, 2-2 draw. Genoa fired their coach, Ballardini, right?
Yes. We saw that coming, though.
He got fired for the fourth time by them. And they hired Shevchenko.
Yes.
Which is awesome. I think that's so cool.
So his last job was Ukraine national team, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Producer Dom just said, "Is he a Bond villain?"
So I mean, he's got history in the league. I think it'll be cool to see what he can do. I mean, that team is not good, so he's got a lot of work. They're really bad.
I mean, they love him in Italy though, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, he's got that in his favor. Anything's got to be better than what they have, and he's got a week off to practice with the team.
I feel like I read something. I don't know if it was Ballardini, but they said like he never finished a full season with the same team or something.
The guy gets fired constantly.
He's terrible. Yeah.
Ballardini was the coach that saved Genoa about 2 or 3 times. Yes, I know, but he's also been fired by them 4 times.
Yeah.
Like the guy is constantly changing teams.
Always on their payroll, so they're like, "Hey, come back! Like, stop cleaning the toilets."
We're paying you. Why don't you come on the sideline for a few weeks? Yeah. Sure. Spezia Torino. Spezia won 1-0. This is a bad result for Torino. what was the guy's name? Salah, the guy that scored.
Yes, that was a good goal.
A blast from the outside where Milinkovic didn't really have a chance, and he's a huge goalie, and he dove his furthest, and it was just a blast past him. It was a very, very nice goal.
That's a bad result for Torino.
That is. Mota getting a win, good for him, because he was looking dangerous.
He was so happy. He's looking at the clock in the 90th minute. He's like, come on, blow the whistle.
Yeah, he's into it, at least. You got to give him that. Cagliari 1, Atalanta 2. Cagliari had some chances. Atalanta, Zapata played pretty well. Had multiple chances, put one in. This game, I think Pasalic had the other goal. João Pedro, the only redeeming quality of Cagliari, scored a goal. I mean, I shouldn't say that. They have other skilled players.
Their roster's not terrible, man.
Yeah. He's the one. Mazzari's the coach, right?
Yeah, he's a punch.
So if they're ever going to make a movie on Mazzari, Alec Baldwin will play him. Just telling you right now, they're friggin' twins.
Look it up, producer Don.
Yeah, look him up if you don't know what he looks like. I don't know. Spell it.
Their coach.
Yeah, type in Cagliari coach. Samp 1, Bologna 2. Samp D'Aversa, I think he's on the way out.
I didn't realize it, but we'll look at the standings. They have 9 points. They're
in relegation right now. They're in such a funk right now, such a losing streak, and the problem is they can't stop anyone. They just keep letting in goal after goal after goal. And this is with Odero making crazy saves during this game.
He's played good.
Oh no, he hasn't played good. He's had some questionable games.
He's a good goalie.
This week he played great. He had really good saves. So this game could have been 4 or 5 goals for Bologna.
Take that back. That's an ex-Juventus, man. Come on.
I'm just saying, this season he played better last season. This season he hasn't been as good. So good win for Bologna. We love Mihailovic, so we like when they win. Udinese 3, Sassuolo 2.
I didn't see
surprising result for you?
Yeah, I mean Udinese is home, and they're not terrible, but yeah, I think Sassuolo.
Sassuolo had the lead actually in this game.
Yeah,
2-1, and then Udinese came back. Those are two decent teams, and I can see those games going either way. Yeah. Frattesi scored again, by the way. He's quickly becoming one of my favorite midfielders.
He's good.
I thought he should have been called up with these injuries. They called up Cataldi, and they should have called up Frattesi.
Yeah, Cataldi barely plays for lots. I don't understand.
I mean, I like Cataldi, but I would have called up Frattesi. Lazio 3, Salernitana 0.
Oh, wait, really quickly going back, I heard a quote. Mancini's begging the Italian teams to play some young players. He wants the Italian young guys to play, so he has some options.
Oh, that's good. I mean, I don't know if they'll listen to him, but that's he put the picture of him on the corner.
That's right? Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin has to play him, right? In a movie about his life. 100%. Every time I see him on the sideline, I'm like, the hell is Alec Baldwin doing there?
Well, it won't be for much longer, I don't think. So.
Yeah, I mean, he came in already from a fired coach. He should be getting fired pretty soon too. So they're bad, and they went on retreat too this past week. It worked out beautifully for them. Lazio 3, Salernitana 0. Immobile became the all-time leading goal scorer for the team, 160 goals. Also, I think I read a stat where he is the first to score 10 goals in the league for the 6th time in a season. So 6 seasons, he's the quickest to 10 goals.
Not in a row, right?
Not in a row, I don't think, but 6 total, yeah, which is pretty impressive.
I believe it. I mean,
I don't put a lot to it because, again, the penalty kicks are they kill me in this league. And there's a lot of goals with penalty kicks, but the guy's a goal scorer. So good for him.
Yeah.
And then we talked about Napoli. We talked about Milan. We talked about those games. And then little stat at the bottom there, Rome is 0 wins in the last 7 games, all competitions.
That's crazy.
Really
so
bad.
Really quickly, that team in the Conference League that they lost and tied to, there's a rumor that I didn't see the game, but they really like the forward on that team, and they're trying to get him for the winter now.
Who is Rome?
Yeah, Rome likes the forward. I don't even know his name. I gotta look into it.
They're trying to steal the competition.
I don't know.
Buy the competition. All right. Well, speaking of the leagues and the tournaments, why don't we go to those fixtures? We'll quickly recap them. We're not going to go over. We're not going to go into them in great detail, but we'll go over the results and then we'll throw the groups up. So we had in the Champions League, you had Atalanta 2, Manchester United 2. If you didn't see this game, Ronaldo had 2 goals. He scored in like the 92nd minute again. Beautiful shot on the outside, one-timer. It was pretty. It was a nice shot. You got to give the guy credit. Yeah, he salvaged a point for that team, and he's done that so many times in his career. So good result for them. Atalanta, it would have been great if they can get 3 points out of that game. Didn't work out. Mm-hmm. Juventus pretty much dominated Zenit. Am I saying that right? Zenit. Yeah. It was 4-0, and then they got 2 late goals. But Juventus, they looked very strong attacking in that game.
No, they played well, for sure.
Yeah. Milan finally got a point, 1-1 draw to Porto, but that leaves them with 1 point after 4 games. So
yeah, and
they're not technically out of it.
Yeah, but if I remember, they didn't play well during that game.
I didn't watch it. I was working, so I don't know. But they did get their first point, and then Inter beat Sheriff Tiraspol Sheriff or whatever. 3-1. And I didn't, to be honest, Sheriff could not arrest Inter. What a joke by Pietro right there. This guy, he's all over it. So Inter beat them twice.
The funny thing is, he probably saw that in like a forum and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna share this."
That's good. I got that one. I'm stealing it. Europa League, you had Napoli beat Legia Warsaw. I think they were losing this game 1-0. Actually, first half. I watched the first half. Actually, they were playing really bad. Then I turned it off, and they scored 4 goals. So
I fell asleep.
Yeah. And then Lazio tied Marseille 2-2. And then you had the Conference League after Rome lost 6-1 to Bodo Glimt, they tie him now 2-2. Anyway, those are the tournament results from this past week. If you want to throw up the Champions League group so we can see. Here you have it. You have in Milan's group, so you have Liverpool with 12 points, Atletico with 5, Porto with 4, Milan with 1, which technically they're not out of it though, Chris.
They're still mathematically in it. Yeah, because there's 2 games left, right?
But they play Liverpool and Atletico Madrid, so they're basically out of it.
It's still nuts, though, that they're not. I mean, they're still shooting for 3rd, I would assume, to get into the Euros, right?
Do you think they are, though? Like, if they want to concentrate, that's the thing there. You have, so we can shoot for 3rd and play Europa League, or we can get knocked out of that and concentrate on the league, which they would really want to win the league title.
I don't know. I feel like we always say that, but it's like teams don't go out there and trying to lose. And what we don't realize is there's so much money involved. Like, to get a win and to get into that tournament, like, it definitely helps. Yeah. So,
but I'm saying, as far as Pioli setting these games up, is he going to, maybe play some bench players during these games because he knows, like, I don't really have a shot, or I don't really care if I'm making the Europa League. I really want to concentrate on the weekend kind of thing.
Maybe.
So it'll be interesting to see how they play that, if they really shoot for that 3rd spot.
Yeah.
Inter's group, you have Real Madrid with 9 points, Inter with 7, Sheriff with 6, and Shakhtar with our boy De Zerbi 1 point.
That's disappointing.
They should make it out of that group. You have Atalanta's group. You have Manchester United 7, Villarreal 7, Atalanta 5, and then Young Boys with 3.
Atalanta's got to be careful. They're blowing this, man. They can easily be in 1st in this group.
Yeah, I mean, they have Young Boys and Villarreal left, so
gotta be careful.
If they can get 4 points out of that, they should be okay. And then you have Juventus, who's already clinched their one of the spots. They have 12, Chelsea with 9, Zenit with 3, and Malmo with 0.
Yeah, and they're going to be trying to get a win every game because they need the money. If you get a win, you get money. So
yeah, I mean, it also helps to get the 1 seed. You hope that it would break for you a little bit better if you got that 1 seed.
Yeah.
So those are the groups. Tom, do we have any more slides?
Maybe just the standings, I think.
Oh, standings, predictions. Yeah. Let's do all that. Yeah, do the table. We'll look at the table. So no real movement other than Atalanta jumping into the top 4. So you have Napoli 32, Milan 32, still tied at top. Inter only get 1 point, so they're 25. Atalanta jump up top 4, 22 points. Lazio 21. Rome are dipping, right? They can't win anything, 19 points. And then you have Fiorentina, Juventus, Bologna, all with 18 points. And check out Bologna, 18 points.
That's great.
That's crazy.
They were struggling.
I know, yeah, right. Like they've been inconsistent, but yet they're tied for 7th place, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Verona still going strong, 16th. On the right side, I mean Samp, Salernitana, Cagliari, all those teams are looking atrocious. They're looking really bad. Like for Genoa not to be in the bottom 3, how is that possible?
Look at the goal differential by Samp. What the hell is going on?
They can't stop anyone. I'm telling you, they let up like 3-4 goals a game. It's really, really bad. Minus 14 goals for Samp.
That's crazy.
Not good. So that's why I'm saying diverse. I mean, if he's not fired this week, he's getting fired soon.
Yeah, for sure.
And you would think he would get fired this week because they have a week off. So a new coach would be able to come in and practice with them and have extra time to prepare. I mean, if I was an owner and I was going to fire my coach, I would do it now. But I haven't heard anything that he has been fired. So
yeah.
Dom, throw up. So let's go to our predictions because Pietro. Let's look at this. He got 3 picks right this week. 3 picks right. He got the Juventus game right. He got the Napoli game right. He got the Milan game right. So he went from 5 points to 8 points. All in 1 week. That being said, he still sucks. And he's way behind.
8 total points.
8 total points out of, I think, a possible 44 or something like that. It's really bad. I picked up 2 points. Frank picked up 1 point.
I didn't get anything.
And Chris, you got absolutely nothing right.
This was a tough week, though, for sure.
Well, not according to Pietro. He got 3 right. Yeah. So I'm only with 19. Chris has 17. Frank has 15. And Pietro has 8 points. And yes, we do these picks every week. We usually pick 4 games. We each select a game, and then we do our predictions, and we go.
No games this week because of international breaks, so we'll continue that next week.
We'll continue it next week when the round 13. And we got big games round 13 too, because I think Juventus, Pietro wrote it in chat. I think Juventus plays Lazio. So that should be a fun one. Do the Italy call-ups real quick. Even though some has changed, so I made the slide yesterday, and then there were some injuries. So like Pellegrini's not in. He was called out. And somebody else got hurt too. I'm not remembering. Zaniolo, I think?
Yes, he's out.
So Cataldo and Pessina got called up in the midfield with Pellegrini and Zaniolo taken out. Yeah. So for me, the person I wanted to see, like I said, is Frattesi. I wanted to see him in the midfield getting a chance.
Well, they're giving a chance to Pobega.
Pobega. Frattesi is better than Pobega.
Listen, I'd rather see Frattesi too, but for some reason, Bernardeschi, I don't know. He's just always on the team.
Bernardeschi will log in, he'll log in 120 minutes over these 2 games. He's going to play nonstop. I mean, there's no real surprises from this list. It's the pretty standard, forwards, defenders, and attackers, midfielders. I mean, there's nothing really that's changed.
Yeah, it is. And I don't know. For me, to see people like Belotti, who's, I don't know, he doesn't deserve to be there right now. I get why he's there, right? But I don't think he deserves
I mean, what are you saying? You want Scamacca there instead of Belotti?
I mean, why not? Even if he doesn't play, at least he's with the team and he's learning, right? But yeah, I don't know.
We have Bonucci and Chiellini that we rest with Fiorentina.
I don't think Bonucci and Chiellini are going to play
in these games. I think they'll play in at least one of them.
I don't know, maybe.
I like that Calabria was called up. I really want to see him play though. I don't want to see him rot on the bench. I want to see him get at least 1 game.
He should be starting every. I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to see Di Lorenzo. I mean, he can play 1 game, that's fine. But I want to see, if I see Baraghi playing over someone else, I'm gonna be pissed. I want to see Calabria in there. Yes, So Italy has two. These games actually count too. The World Cup qualifying games. So I think on Friday they play against Switzerland.
Which is a huge game.
Yeah, because those are the 1 and 2 seeds in the group. I think, right?
They're tied right now. Yeah.
They're tied, and then they play Monday they play against Northern Ireland. So these games actually count, and they need to show up. They need to perform. If you had a prediction, Chris, how many points would you say they get out of these games?
6.
Yeah. I say 6 too. I mean, I know Switzerland's not terrible, and it's a huge game, but I'm gonna say 6 points for them too. I believe in them.
Me too. I love this team, man.
Yeah, there's a lot to like about this Italy team.
Yeah.
All right.
Is there anything else you want to talk about? Anything in chat?
Dom says 4 points for Italy over these 2 games.
Okay.
These games are on ESPN Plus, I believe, too. By the way.
Yeah, they usually are.
So if you are looking for them, they should be on there. Maybe even ESPN2, depending on which game.
I actually think the Italy-Switzerland game is ESPN2. I think.
All right. Anything else that we need to go over? No, I think we're good.
No, this was fun.
Yeah, I mean, God, it was so nice to be able to talk calmly and hear each other and respect each other's opinions and all that. It was awesome.
You're right. I have nothing to add.
So, Chris, you want to plug our Twitch because we got things going on this week?
Yeah. So for those people that are interested in Football Manager 2022, it did come out this week, or the beta's been out, but we're actually going to start streaming at some point this week. Maybe not tomorrow, but I think maybe Wednesday.
Whoa! Why not tomorrow?
Tomorrow we got plans. You don't know. We have plans we have to do. So
what the hell?
Maybe tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that's right. No tomorrow. Sorry.
So we'll do Wednesday. I think I've settled in on Venezia as my team. Gonna go for it.
Yeah, I mean I put Empoli as my team, but I don't know if I want to stick with that. I gotta check. But last season we played about 12 seasons. Chris did pretty well.
I did awesome.
As Sassuolo.
Yes.
But we'll see. I think we're both getting fired this year though.
Yeah, so we'll see. We're gonna start that Wednesday. Yeah, so if you're bored, come in and chat. We'll talk soccer.
Like, subscribe. We got Twitter, we got Instagram, we got YouTube, we got Twitch. We're on every podcast format that you can think of.
I think our producer has an OnlyFans. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, it's strictly feet though. Remember we talked about that. Our sponsors, we had no sponsors this week because Frank wasn't here, so that's a shame.
Hopefully next week we have the host actually show up. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. I don't know. It is what it is.
All right. Take it easy.
Yeah.